Ladies and gentlemen, a life where instead of avoiding pain, you learn to embrace it, where discomfort becomes a tool, not a threat, might be exactly what separates progress from stagnation. We're conditioned to complain when things get hard, to shy away from pressure, and to seek comfort at every turn. But what if that mindset is the very reason we remain stuck? What if pain is not a punishment, but a process? The moments we grow the most often come wrapped in struggle. And those who succeed don't do so because they avoided hardship. They rise because they endured it with purpose. While most people waste their energy wishing life were easier, the ones who move forward focus on becoming stronger. They stop complaining and they start learning, because once you begin to understand that pain carries purpose, it stops being something to fear and starts being something to respect. So ask yourself, what if today's discomfort is building tomorrow's strength? What if the challenge in front of you is shaping the version of you that's ready for everything you've been asking for? This isn't about enjoying suffering. It's about finding power in the process. Let me share something with you today that may entirely shift your perspective on life. After years of observing human behavior and analyzing the principles of success, I discovered something deeply insightful about pain, something many people never truly understand. Most individuals spend their lives avoiding pain. They run from it, suppress it, and constantly complain about it. But here's the fascinating part. While some waste time lamenting their struggles, others take that same pain and use it as a foundation to build something powerful. Think about that. The pain is the same, yet the outcomes are vastly different. The truth is, pain is not your enemy. It can, in fact, become one of your greatest allies if you understand how to interpret and harness it effectively. In the early stages of my journey, when I was struggling financially and just trying to get by, I often found myself complaining about the lack of money, long hours, and unfavorable circumstances. But over time, I realized something important. All my complaints only gave me more reasons to be dissatisfied. That's when I learned a life-changing truth. Complaining is like sitting in a rocking chair. It keeps you busy, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Isn't that thought-provoking? We spend so much energy focusing on the discomfort that we overlook the lesson it is trying to teach us. Pain isn't a stop sign, it's a signal. When you feel physical pain, your body is telling you something requires attention. When you feel emotional pain, it's life indicating that something must change. The pain itself isn't the issue. What truly matters is how you respond to it. Take this example. When you work out at the gym, your muscles ache, but that pain is necessary for strength. When you study intensely, your brain feels overwhelmed. Yet that very discomfort is expanding your knowledge. When you confront fear, there is unease, but that unease is what builds courage. The issue lies not in the presence of pain, but in the way we perceive it. Many of us have been taught to view pain as something to avoid at all costs. But what if, instead, pain is one of life's greatest teachers? Consider this. Every breakthrough you've experienced was likely preceded by a period of struggle. Every significant success required you to endure discomfort. Every valuable lesson had its cost. Life isn't about avoiding difficulty, it's about learning to grow through it. True growth often comes wrapped in discomfort. The pain you are enduring today is preparing you with the strength you will need tomorrow. I once received a powerful piece of advice. Don't wish life were easier, wish you were stronger. Don't wish for fewer problems, wish for the skill to overcome them. Don't hope for less challenge, develop the wisdom to rise above it. These words reshape the way I approach life. When you complain about pain, you resist the very process designed to build your resilience. It's like walking into a gym and being upset that the weights are heavy. Of course they are. That's what strengthens you. And here lies another truth about pain. It is temporary, but the growth and wisdom gained from it endure. The resilience you develop through struggle becomes a lasting part of your character. Now, let me ask you, what if you changed your relationship with pain? Instead of resisting it, what if you asked, what is this pain trying to teach me? What kind of strength am I gaining from this? What wisdom is being revealed? Because here's the reality. The quality of your life isn't defined by a lack of pain, but by how you respond to it. Some experience pain and become bitter. Others go through the same experience and emerge better. The difference lies in the response. Over the years, I've observed two types of people. The first, when faced with adversity, say, why me? Life isn't fair. The second, in the same situation, ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? And here's the remarkable part. Both types experience pain because it is a part of life. But the first group suffers twice, once from the pain and again from resisting it. The second group, however, transforms their pain into strength. Understanding this is essential to success. It's not about avoiding obstacles. It's about embracing the process of overcoming them. It's about cultivating the mindset that finds fulfillment in striving toward your potential. Think of a butterfly struggling to emerge from its cocoon. That struggle is crucial. It's what gives the butterfly the strength it needs to fly. If you interfere and try to make the process easier, you don't help, you hinder its development. The same is true in life. The challenges you're facing right now are not here to stop you. They are shaping you into the person you're meant to become. The challenges you're currently facing are not intended to break you, they are meant to strengthen you. However, to benefit from them, you must stop complaining. Every time you complain, you resist the very process designed to foster your growth. Each moment spent dwelling on your struggles distances you from the progress those struggles can bring. Here's an essential truth. Pain carries purpose. Every challenge you face is offering a lesson. Financial difficulties teach you discipline and responsibility with money. Difficult relationships provide deeper understanding of people and emotional resilience. Physical pain reminds you of the importance of caring for your body. But none of these lessons can be learned if your attention is consumed by resentment toward the process. Wisdom cannot be gained while your focus remains fixed on discomfort. Strength cannot be developed while you continue to resist the very force that is intended to build you. And here's something else that is universally true. Pain is part of every life. No one escapes it. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not in whether they encounter pain, but in how they respond to it. Those who rise have learned to embrace the discomfort that accompanies growth. They understand that pain is not a punishment. It is the price of progress. Struggle leads to strength. Discomfort lays the foundation for development. Pain precedes power. Now, this is not to suggest that you should go looking for pain or suffer unnecessarily, but when pain arrives, and it always does, you have a choice. You can either complain or you can learn. You can resist or you can grow. You can allow it to break you or you can use it to shape you. Pain in itself remains constant, but your response to it determines your path. Pain also serves another critical function. It clarifies your priorities. Few things bring focus like hardship. Pain strips away distractions and helps you recognize what truly matters. In difficulty, we discover what is worth holding on to and what we are better off releasing. Unfortunately, many people miss these insights because they are too caught up in complaining. Their attention is fixed so heavily on discomfort that they fail to understand the deeper message behind it. In my own life, I have learned that your level of success is directly linked to the amount of pain you are willing to endure. Not forced to endure, but voluntarily accept as part of growth. Success does not favor those who run from discomfort. It favors those who are willing to pass through it, to rise above it. It does not come to those who focus solely on their limitations. It rewards those who turn their limitations into launch pads for something greater. Consider your own life for a moment. Every skill you've ever developed has come through challenge. Learning to walk included falling. Learning to read brought confusion. Learning to ride a bike left bruises and scrapes. And yet, where would you be today if you had chosen to avoid all of that discomfort? The same principle applies to your goals today. The knowledge you need to acquire, the strength you need to build, and the wisdom you need to develop, they will all arrive through some form of difficulty. The question is not whether pain will come. The real question is, what will you do with it? Another profound truth about pain is this: it is the great equalizer. It does not discriminate whether rich or poor, young or old, educated or uneducated. Everyone faces pain. But while some allow it to define them, others use it to refine themselves. Understand this clearly. Pain is not the enemy. The real challenge lies in resisting it. Complaining about pain is essentially an expression of the belief that life should be easy. But life was never meant to be easy. Life is meant to be meaningful, and its meaning is often found through its challenges. It is through struggle that we find depth. Through difficulty, we discover resilience. Through pain, we find purpose. What I have observed over time is this: the individuals who accomplish the most are not those who face the least pain, but those who embrace the pain of growth. These are the individuals who find meaning in the journey itself. Think of an Olympic athlete in training. Do they shy away from pain? No, they welcome it. They understand that pain is not their adversary, but their guide. Discomfort is not an obstacle, it is an opportunity. The same applies to your life. The pain you are going through right now is not here to defeat you, it is here to elevate you. The difficulties you are facing are not barriers, they are stepping stones. The obstacles before you are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you. And once you begin to see pain for what it truly is, your life will begin to transform. But here's the key. You must stop complaining about your challenges. Each time you complain, you're not just expressing frustration, you're actively rejecting your own opportunity for growth. Every time you fixate on your circumstances, you're resisting the very process intended to elevate you. Let me share a profound truth. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Pain is a natural part of life. It will come regardless. But the suffering that stems from resisting pain, from viewing it as inherently negative, from constantly complaining about it, that is a choice. What if you began to see pain differently? What if instead of avoiding it, you sought to understand it? What if instead of resisting pain, you learned to work with it? What if rather than viewing it as something happening to you, you recognized it as something happening for you? The quality of your life is not measured by the absence of pain. It is shaped by your relationship with it. It is defined by your ability to find meaning in your struggles, purpose in your hardships, and opportunity in your challenges. And here's what's truly remarkable. When you learn to embrace the pain of personal growth, when you begin to find fulfillment in the process of progress, you stop seeing pain as a burden and begin to recognize it as a tool for becoming the best version of yourself. The pain may still be present, but the suffering subsides. The obstacles remain, but the complaints vanish, because now you see clearly pain is not your enemy, it is your ally. Difficulties are not obstructions, they are opportunities. These challenges were never meant to break you. They were always intended to shape you. So let me ask you, what will you do with your pain? Will you complain about it, or will you learn from it? Will you resist it, or will you use it? Will you allow it to defeat you, or will you let it refine you? The choice is entirely yours. The pain may be the same, but your response will define your outcome. The struggle might persist, but your attitude toward it will determine your result. Remember this, life isn't about avoiding pain. It's about learning to use it. It's not about seeking comfort. It's about developing the strength to walk the difficult path. It's not about eliminating problems. It's about cultivating the wisdom to solve them. So stop complaining about your pain. Instead, begin to embrace the journey of growth. Seek out the purpose within your challenges. Because genuine success does not arise from the absence of pain. It comes from your ability to convert pain into progress. That is the mindset successful people adopt. That is the wisdom they live by. That is the truth they have come to embrace. And now the same choice is available to you. This is your time, your opportunity to transform pain into power, difficulties into determination, and struggles into stepping stones. The pain may still exist, but your perspective can evolve. The hardships may not disappear, but your inner strength can increase. It's never been about avoiding adversity. It's always been about using it to build the life you are truly capable of living. The challenges may remain, but your growth need never stop. So accept your pain, learn from it, rise through it. This is what successful individuals do. This is what leaders do. This is what those who achieve greatness consistently practice. And it's exactly what you can begin doing today, now, with your very next challenge. Always remember, do not complain about your pain. Embrace it, because within that acceptance lies the seed of your future success, the foundation of your inner strength, and the beginning of your greatest achievements. That is the message. That is the wisdom. That is the truth that has the power to transform your life if you're willing to accept it, if you're ready to live it, and if you're prepared to make it your own. The decision is yours. The time is now. The opportunity is here. What will you do with it? Let me share something else, something backed by science and human behavior. The moment you decide to stop complaining about your pain, your brain actually begins to rewire itself. Neural pathways start to reorganize. Over the years, I've studied how high performers and successful individuals think differently about adversity. And here's what I've learned. They train their minds to associate pain with progress. Isn't that interesting? While many interpret pain as punishment, they see it as a stepping stone. They understand that discomfort is a necessary part of development. Let me offer a personal example. When I first entered the business world, I was incredibly uncomfortable with public speaking. The idea of standing in front of an audience terrified me. My heart would race, my palms would sweat, and my thoughts would scatter. I could have done what many do, complain, avoid it, or create excuses. But I chose something different. I decided to embrace the discomfort. I leaned into it, and something remarkable happened. The more I welcomed the challenge, the more I grew. The more I faced the discomfort, the more confident I became. That pain became my greatest teacher. And here's another fascinating insight. Pain acts as a filter. It reveals what truly matters. People often complain about the most minor inconveniences, yet willingly endure immense pain for the things they truly value. Think about that. A parent sacrifices sleep for their child. An athlete trains through exhaustion for a dream. A student studies through stress for a goal. Pain, when attached to purpose, is no longer a burden, it becomes fuel. The difference lies in what you are willing to endure for what truly matters to you. It's quite remarkable how someone may grumble about waking early for a job they dislike, yet willingly rise at 4 a.m. for something they are passionate about. Whether it's training, hunting, or chasing a dream, the discomfort is the same, but the meaning behind it is entirely different. This brings us to what I refer to as the pain principle. The level of pain you're willing to endure is directly linked to how much you value something. And that understanding changes everything. Once you grasp this concept, your mindset begins to shift. You stop asking, how can I avoid pain? And instead begin asking, which pain is worth enduring? This subtle change in thinking leads to entirely different results, results that align with personal growth and long-term fulfillment. Here's another powerful truth about pain. Most people fail to recognize that it is one of the most effective ways to develop discipline. Why is that? Because pain demands your full attention. It commands your focus and insists on your respect. When you are in pain, you cannot afford to be lazy, distracted, or indifferent. Pain forces you to become present, deliberate, and fully committed. That's what makes pain such a transformative teacher. It does not accept excuses. It doesn't permit mediocrity. It doesn't allow you to remain in your comfort zone. Instead, it challenges you to give your best, to dig deeper, and to grow beyond your current limits. There's something else that may permanently alter your perspective. Pain is one of the few constants in life. It never deceives you. It does not flatter, nor does it sugarcoat reality. Pain is direct. It shows up to signal when something is off track. It tells you when your choices are misaligned. It warns you when a correction is needed. But the key is this: you have to stop complaining long enough to actually listen. You must stop resenting your discomfort long enough to hear the wisdom within it. What's truly unfortunate is that most people spend far more time resisting pain than trying to learn from it. They exhaust more energy in complaint than they do in reflection. This brings us to another concept I call the 3 levels of pain response. The first level, where most people remain, is the level of complaint. Here, pain is met with blame, excuses, and victimhood. The second level, where some begin to evolve, is endurance. At this stage, people tolerate pain, but don't yet learn from it. But the third level, the level where real transformation occurs, is where individuals begin to embrace pain. Now, to clarify, embracing pain does not mean enjoying suffering for its own sake. These individuals are not chasing hardship. They are choosing to see pain as a necessary means to growth, transformation, and mastery. At this highest level, people begin to appreciate what pain has to offer. They value the strength developed through adversity, the wisdom drawn from hardship, and the character built through struggle. Just consider history. Every major discovery, invention, or social advancement came through struggle. The Wright brothers didn't abandon flight because of repeated failure. They embraced the challenge until they succeeded. Thomas Edison didn't give up after thousands of failed attempts at creating a light bulb. He welcomed the process of discovery. These examples prove something vital. Pain is not the opposite of pleasure. Often it is the price of progress. Pain is not the enemy of success. More often than not, it is the evidence of growth. There's another remarkable quality of pain. It reveals your true priorities. When something becomes painful, you quickly realize how badly you want it. When difficulty arises, your level of commitment is tested. That's why pain is one of life's most honest truth tellers. It uncovers what you truly value, not what you say you value, but you're willing to endure for. It distinguishes your wishes from your convictions. It separates hollow intention from real commitment. And perhaps most interestingly, pain is one of the few things in life that cannot be faked. You can fake confidence, you can fake motivation, but you cannot fake your response to pain. When you're under pressure, your true values, your authentic beliefs, and your real character are exposed. This is why I often say, don't just tell me what you want, show me what you're willing to endure. Don't talk about your dreams, show me the challenges you're prepared to overcome. Don't list your goals, Demonstrate the pain you're willing to face to make them reality. That's where words give way to action and intention turns into results. Now allow me to share another concept I refer to as the pain paradox. The more you avoid pain, the more you suffer. But the more you accept and even learn to appreciate pain, the more you grow. The more you complain about discomfort, the weaker you become. But the more you learn to face discomfort with discipline, the stronger and more capable you get. Isn't that fascinating? The very thing most people spend their lives trying to avoid is often exactly what they need to confront. The struggle they complain about may in fact be the precise challenge they must overcome to grow. Life has a remarkable way of using pain as a guide, a tool for transformation, yet many are so consumed with resisting discomfort, so caught up in complaining about their difficulties, that they completely overlook the lessons pain is trying to teach. Let me offer a perspective that may shift your understanding entirely. Pain is frequently life's method of preparing you for something greater. The challenges you face today may be developing the strength, character, and resilience required for tomorrow's opportunities. Consider this. Before a rocket can escape Earth's gravity, it must endure overwhelming force. Before a butterfly takes flight, it must struggle within its cocoon. Before a diamond forms, it must undergo immense heat and pressure. The same principle applies to your life. The pain you're experiencing now, the difficulties you're wrestling with, and the obstacles you're navigating, these are not there to break you. They are not meant to halt your progress. Rather, they are intended to prepare you, to refine you, and to build the strength you will need for what lies ahead. But here lies the essential truth. You must stop complaining long enough to understand the deeper purpose of your pain. You must resist the urge to push it away and instead pause to consider its potential. Because here's what is truly fascinating. The very pain you're frustrated with today may be preparing you for an opportunity that has not yet revealed itself. The challenge you're resisting may be shaping the strength you will rely on when that opportunity finally comes. That is why I urge you, do not complain about your pain, embrace it. Do not resist your challenges, rise through them. Do not fight your difficulties, learn from them. In the end, success is not defined by the absence of pain. It is measured by your ability to use that pain for your growth. It is not about running from challenges, it's about growing through them. Life is not about seeking the easiest route. It is about becoming strong enough to follow the path that leads you to your goals. Always remember, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Challenges cannot be avoided, but growth is always a choice. Difficulties will come, but how you respond to them will forever remain in your control. So choose wisely, choose growth, choose strength, and most importantly, choose to embrace your pain